What's up, family? Gerald the Bossman here. You're tuned into the Bossman Show on AM 1010, AM 1430, 1055 The King. Let the King out at 105theking.com and the Bossman Show at bossmanshow.com. Hit me up on Instagram, The Bossman Show, Twitter at Bossman Show, and Facebook, Bossman Show. It's the Bossman on your radio.
Listen to the Bossman Show with your host, JR, Saturdays at 9 a.m. right here on AM 1010, The King.
What's up, good people? BetOnline is your number one source for all your betting needs. The latest odds, lines, and matchup reports for baseball, boxing, golf, and more. BetOnline continues to be the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino and card games available to play right from your phone. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and get in on the action. Remember to use your promo code BELIEVE, B-L-E-A-V, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, where the game starts.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.
Yes, BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV, covering content and hot topics from A to Z, sports, music, society and culture, movie reviews, you name it, we have it. Check it out on bs3network.com or check us out on Roku, BS3 TV on Roku, as well as check out your favorite podcasts on all podcast platforms or Spreaker.com/BS3 Network.
You are now tuned to BS3 Network.
Bossman Show, in front of the show, David Kiefer, Southeast Louisiana Lions, our Southern Conference, doing big things. Little talk to you again, David. How you doing, brother?
All good, all good. Just got back from a nice long bus trip back home. Just back to work, on to the next games. Just trying to keep it going.
I hear that, man. Well, hey, how good did it feel for your guys, man, to go to Houston Christian, who came to your place and beat you all before your 4-game winning streak, to kind of being that loss, man, to kind of make those corrections from last game and get the job done on the road last night?
Yeah, a big win for our team. You know, anytime you go on the road in conference play, it's a big win for our team. And Houston Christian's a really well coached team that's been playing really well. And obviously, they came to our place earlier a couple weeks ago and kind of messed up our winning streak. So our guys were ramped up to go down there and get revenge for sure.
100%, man. You know, your league is tough, man. You got 7 teams over 500. You know, 6 of you are between 10-4 and 8-6, and you got McNix is up there at 13-1. So, look about the depth of your league and how tough it is every night, home and away. You can't take anybody lightly, especially as the games get more important. 6 more games season to go.
Yeah, for sure. I've been in the league now 4 years as an assistant and 6 years as a head coach, and from top to bottom. I think this is without question the best this league's ever been. There's no easy outs. And you're talking about McNeese with the run they got going on and the likes of what Abilene Christian and Stephen F. Austin was doing. Brad Underwood was there, but you know, there's just so many other teams. You know, there's no gimmies on any given night. And I think if you look at the rating in this conference, since I've been in this league for 10 years now, I think it's the highest rating that this league has ever been. You know, and ahead of a lot of leagues that it hasn't been in front of in previous years. You know, we've always been down there with SWAC and MEAC in the Southland in about the 30th spot. Now we're right around hovering around the 20th spot, about 10 or 11 leagues above where it usually is. So. You know, it's a battle, you know, every single game, and some really good coaches, and NIL and Will Wade kind of, you know, made this league get better.
100%, man. I'm gonna ask you about that in a little bit too, Dave. Like, man, for you guys, non-conference wise was real competitive wise. 16-9 right now. Talk about playing those different teams. Had some tough games you probably should have won, could have won if you want to have back. But the fact that your guys have been in mostly every game this year and seen different styles, seen different actions early, preparing you for what you're gonna see in Southland Conference play.
Yeah, we try not to get, talk too much about the past, but man, you go back to some other games that just came down to buzzer shots that didn't go in. Gardner Webb, we lose right there at the end of the game. Wyoming, we lose right there at the end of the game. Louisiana Lafayette, we lose right there at the end of the game. Even getting into conference play to open up a conference play at Nichols, losing right there at the end of the game. Just so many close games that could have went either way. But one thing about this team, out of all the teams that I've had, this is the most resilient team that we've had. Our guys are extremely tough, and just the way they approach every single day. Going back from this summer, this is the most coachable team I've had, the most gritty team that I've had, and it's become a team that's player led. And as a coach, for me personally, your best teams are player led, and we just got really good guys that understand how to practice every single day. They're laser focused. They don't get caught up in the winning streak or the losing streak, because we've been through both of them. And they're just on to the next day. And even going back to that Houston Christian loss that we had after that big winning streak, I think 6, 7, 8 games in a row, whatever we won, and losing to Houston Christian, I think we had the next 2 days, we might have been the best practices we had all year. There was no finger pointing. There was no dropping their head and feeling sorry for themselves. The guys just moved on and went to the next day. And it's just really fun coaching a group like this.
No doubt, man. I'll tell you, Dave, the player-led teams I was on were the best teams we had. The 2 years with player-led was the best teams. And this time of year, playing 25 games in, how much live are you all doing for us? Or you kind of, with the players, kind of collaborate with the players on, if we're going to go live today, we're going to do some walkthrough drills, shooting, that thing. So how you kind of work with your players who are a little older now to kind of figure out what's the best route to keep their bodies healthy? Is this gauntlet keeps on going. We know that what's really important comes March, kind of keep their bodies healthy, kind of work with them on how we're going to work and practice every day so we are optimal for that tournament coming up here.
Yeah, we're heavy film right now. Tuesdays are off day for the players. It's kind of a weird conference play when you go Saturday, Monday. So Tuesday's not really your typical off day. I'm used to having Sunday as an off day where you don't have to go in the office. The guys don't have to go to class. So Tuesday's your off day where everybody still goes to the office. You feel like you still got to be here and the players still got to go to class. But we're heavy film right now. Wednesday's always Southeastern only day. We watched self film. We watch our self edits from the previous 2 games. We go through grades, and it'll be a long film session, maybe 45 minutes to an hour. Depending how long my mind can stay focused in there sometimes. But then we get down to the floor and we just get better at being us. We go live, I'd say, just about every day, but it's very limited. We get a lot out of, I'd say, we'd go for 45 minutes to an hour on the floor. We're not going much past an hour 15 tops. And Wednesday's a big us day, and then Thursday turns into beginning the scout for whoever we're playing Saturday, and we get up a little bit back and forth on Thursday. Wednesday's more of a half court day, still recovering from the long weekend and our long bus trips that we got, and then Thursdays we get up and down a little bit, and then Friday is a little bit more back to half court again, and we're big on the last 2 weeks. I'd say is just that last 20 minutes is just situations. It's all about situations. The last 20 minutes every single day, we just put constant situations because it's conference play. It's coming down to the last 3 minutes. How can you execute defensively in half court and offensively at half court? Can we execute? Can the ball get to where it needs to get to? Can we run our plays? If we don't have timeouts, can you guys do what we're supposed to do? Can we finish the plays with 2-handed rebounds? Can we make the extra pass and just fight through adversity or whatever's happened throughout the game and be mentally focused on understanding what needs to happen these last 2 minutes in whatever situation that may be. Sunday, we don't go live at all. It's a big mental sweat that day. Obviously Saturday is going to be a tough game, and then you're going into Monday. We go on the floor, we get a bunch of shots up, but we mental sweat and go through all the actions defensively, and our guys are just really laser focused on that. And then we do a little bit of 5-on-0, but big film day. But yeah, we're at the point right now where it's live on the floor, but just as far as total live contact, we probably ain't going much more than 20 minutes.
That, man, because I know your mental reps really matter. This time you don't get nobody hurt going live, man, because they'll be a gut punch, man. They'll kill you. And man, ask this, Dave, like, I want to ask you about this as well. Really, this time of year, people kind of know what you do, you know what they do. So talk about like you said, the middle piece, the execution part of it, because you know what we're gonna do. We know we're gonna run a pin down on DHO. What we're gonna do, what we're gonna do, you know it. Can you stop it? So talk about that part of it too.
Exactly. It's about bringing your game to the floor. We know what everybody else is doing. They know what we're doing. Obviously, you can make some adjustments and counters, and you kind of see what they did last time. You want to make some counter moves, but when you're getting down to the end of the game, there's no more tricking. It's about can you bring your game to the floor? Can you execute it? Obviously, they can simulate our defense in practice. We can simulate their defense, but nobody can simulate you better than you. So, this game honors the tough, man. And you got to win with tough guys, and you got to win with defending and rebounding. Even like last night, we go 2 for 13 from the 3-point line and don't make shots. But can you find other ways to the win? And we get to the free throw line. We offensive rebound the basketball, and we sit down and guard and hold them to 60 points. Doing that in a Division I basketball game, holding a team to 60 points, is impressive. And that's how you win games. It's going to come down to who's mentally and physically tougher.
No doubt, man. You're doing a great job with your team of sharing the ball, getting the ball in the guys' hands, man. Look about sharing that sugar that you guys are doing very well right now, making sure where you're not one dimensional per se. Multiple guys can take the defense and make stuff happen. So talk about that piece of it, Dave, man, because I feel like it's very important. Like you have as guys, multiple guys who can attack and score, where the defense can have key on one or two people and say we're gonna stop them and load up to that side.
Oh, no question. You might be in our locker room sharing the sugar. We use that all the time. We like to share the sugar, but it's amazing what can be accomplished when nobody cares who gets the credit. And that's one of our main sayings in our locker room. And our guys, they don't care who is the man that day. They don't care who's taking that shot. It's just it's a collective group effort. And we talk about it all the time. If you want it to be about individual, go play golf or tennis. This is a team sport. And our guys really bought into the fact that they don't care who's getting all the credit. They don't, Sam Hines has been player of the week one week, but Jacavian Buckley has been a player of the week the next week, and Brody Roberry's been one of our best players, and Cam Burton's been one of our best. It doesn't matter as long as we win, and we're playing basketball the right way, and right now we are.
And also, you mentioned rebounding. I feel like it's very important offensively to get extra possessions that way to get more shots, to get more opportunity to take the defense. Also, defensively, stop and closing the possession. You can defend it great for 29 seconds, get the rebound, you got to do it again. So, think about how important it is rebounding the ball, offensively, getting more shots up, more opportunities, and defensively, holding them to one shot and getting back into your stuff.
No doubt. No rebounds, no rings. That's another one of our sayings. You got 76% of the time we tell our team that Division I teams that win the rebounding battle win the basketball game. So, and I think we're, I could be wrong, but we're maybe like 12-1 or something like that when we win the rebounding battle. Especially that Lamar game at home and this Houston Christian game on the road, really, I think in double digits, offensive rebounds and double digit rebounding battle, winning the rebounding battle was huge to win games like that, especially again when you're not making shots, getting your team second and third opportunities to get the ball, and most importantly, defensively limit them to one shot. Because we all know the second shot, when you get a second shot and a third shot, every single time they get offensive rebound, the percentage of them making a basket just goes up. So making sure you're finishing plays, it's great that you sit down and guard, like you said, for 28 seconds, but it's deflating. It's deflating to give up an offensive rebound. But in the other end, it gives your team juice when you're attacking that glass and give your team second chance shots.
And David Matthews, man, I know when we played, we had different rebounding schemes per the opponent. Talk about that piece that's kind of transferred to understand about that. Rebounding schemes on offense and defense, how you going to do those certain things. Talk about that. You kind of change from game to game, or it's kind of you going to do what you do offensive for us, crashing the glass, or what we going to do?
Yeah, we try to be who we are. I've always kind of been early in of being more conservative and sending two guys back, but I like sending four guys to the glass and kind of keeping my point guard there at the top of the key. A lot of people that would make them nervous about getting back. But, we really work on not jamming rebounds when they get it and then getting in 3 steps back, your first 3 steps and most important steps getting back in transition. But I love to go get second opportunity shots. And as long as we're sprinting back and not jamming rebounds, we like to be aggressive in the offensive glass and sending forward because we have bigger guards that are weapons in the glass. I don't want to just retreat and send guys back.
No doubt, man. I'm with you on there, brother. You're doing a good job because, limiting turnovers as well. On a 12 a game, my dad always say when he coached the ball, coach, you have the whole organization in your hands when the ball's in your hands. So don't throw it freaking away. Right. If you must, go out of bounds. Don't let the ball turn over. So about limiting those turnovers, man, and how it's been helpful for your team as well, brother.
Man, you must be in our practice. I tell them to punt that out of bounds, punt it in the 17th row before you're going to throw an interception touchdown. There's nothing worse than just giving them the ball and giving teams easy baskets because you know how hard it is, especially late in conference play, to just get a bucket. To give a team a breakaway dunk and let them build off that momentum is just backbreaker. So our guys have gotten so much better. I know it's at 12 turnovers game right now, but while we've been on this 10 of 11 win streak, I think we might be under 10 turnovers a game. Last night we had 7 turnovers in the first half, only had 2 in the second half. So just controlling the ball, making sure you get your team good shots. And then most importantly, knowing where the shot's coming from, it gives your team a better chance to get the offensive rebound. Your offense has got to help your defense. We got no transition defense rules for interception touchdowns. So, if we miss the shot, we can get back. We can set up our half-court defense. We got a really good half-court defense that's really connected and unselfish. And as long as we're taking good shots, we're not giving the other team the ball. And that's what got us in trouble the first couple games of the year. At Nichols and at McNeese, they just destroyed us, and I think we had 20-something turnovers. So I think we've really grown since those games, and understanding what we're trying to get offensively, and sharing that sugar, and just making the easy play.
Especially like a team like Lamar, who does a lot of pressing. Don't get sped up by their press. Just no trust your press break offense pretty much. I think sometimes young men sometimes they get the press with a zone breaks them out. Just trust your press break offense or your zone offense. Sometimes you kill when you still run your man stuff. It's get in the middle of the dadgum court and screen the sucker and do what you gotta do. But you and I know that. But sometimes getting a player to get to okay. It works.
Right. No, Lamar is relentless in their press, and they kicked our butt last year with that press, and we couldn't even get it past. I felt like get it past half court last year. And this year I think we made a little bit of adjustments with our press breaker, but also just getting more ball handlers helps makes us look better when you got more playmakers and guys that can dribble, pass, and shoot. And our guys did a much better job of just playing with poise and under control, and did a lot better of handling their pressure.
That's it for you today. We'll talk to you about Sam Hines Jr. from Marietta up the road from me in Atlanta. So about that young man, what he's meant to your team this year. He's playing a lot of minutes for you. And this is what he's getting guys from Georgia, how makes me feel very good. But how he feel like he's done for his program when Les Gates, he's going to lead for you guys, man, with his hard work and dedication to the game of basketball.
Oh, man. First off, shout out to Roscoe Eastman and his dad helping me out with that recruiting process. He went to the same high school as Roscoe, and Roscoe is our point guard for 3 years here. But, Sam is one of the best players, if not the best player that I've had since I've been here. But also, just one of the best leaders and best people that you've ever met. Sam is just such a great teammate. And a lot of coaches say, oh, he brings it every single day. But I promise you, since he got here in early June, that guy has not had one bad day of practice. And anybody that's ever coached him, it wouldn't surprise you because, we didn't do anything to change him. Sam came in with that mentality. Sam comes from a great family at home, and he's had great coaches, and he's just so unselfish and such a high character guy. He says stuff when he needs to, but he really leads by example. And he just, like I said, hasn't had a bad day. He's the hardest worker on the team. And he's also getting his MBA, and he's got a 4.0. He's smarter than I am. So I just, we're really lucky to have him. I wish we could have got him 1 year earlier, to be honest, but we're going to take advantage of him when we got him.
No doubt. Hopefully it takes you on a big run to the bit dance days. We're talking again in a few weeks, hopefully.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, man, good to see you again. As always, brother. It's great having the show, man. Best of luck to you down the road. Have a great week with Nichols and Niece, man. I know it's going to be a tough one, but I know you have them prepared one way or another.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Anytime.
BS3 Network. Changing the way you watch TV.
Yes, BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV, covering content and hot topics from A to Z. Sports, music, society and culture, movie reviews. You name it, we have it. Check it out on bs3network.com or check us out on Roku, BS3 TV on Roku, as well as check out your favorite podcasts on all podcast platforms or Spreaker.com/BS3 Network.
You are now tuned to BS3 Network.
What's up, good people? Bet Online is your number one source for all your betting needs. The latest odds, lines, and matchup reports for baseball, boxing, golf, and more. Bet Online continues to be the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino and card games available to play right from your phone. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and get in on the action. Remember to use your promo code BELIEVE, BLEAV, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet Online, where the game starts. What's up, family? Jared the Bossman here. You're tuned into the Bossman Show on AM 1010, AM 1430, 1055 The King. Let the King out at 105theking.com and the Bossman Show at bossmanshow.com. Hit me up on Instagram, The Bossman Show, Twitter at Bossman Show, and Facebook, Bossman Show. It's the Bossman on your radio.
Listen to The Bossman Show with your host, JR, Saturdays at 9 a.m. right here on AM 1010, The King.